He walks into Dubai as a man with everything to lose, and the betting line still expects him to walk straight through the champion. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how a 38-year-old former kickboxing world champion making his professional boxing debut ended up as the heavy favorite over the fighter already holding the Misfits heavyweight belt, and why December 20th in Dubai might be the night someone's entire persona finally breaks.
It's not a Misfits press conference without Chase DeMoor.
And this is the world we currently live in. You know and I know. There's a long, long way to win.
Yeah, Andrew Tate, man, he's got experience. He's a former kickboxer. Obviously, this ain't gonna be a MMA fight. It's gonna be a pure boxing fight exhibition. But how do you think he's gonna? How do you prepare for that, knowing that he's had those kind of camps in him?
Yeah, this is a different sport. This is not kickboxing. You don't have 4 limbs, you have 2. This is heavyweight boxing. This is him coming up 2 divisions.
I think you should have a tangerine.
You want?
Give him half the tangerine.
I was gonna say,
he
we'll
seems
split.
upset. Give him half the tangerine. Come on, give it to him. That's from me.
Oh well.
Oh.
That's what I think of that tangerine.
You try and be nice. You try and be a nice guy. You give a nobody a shot. No one even gives a this guy is.
Your
you give him a
ex-girlfriend,
chance.
Bree Stern,
You
does.
finally pay
She
him
DMs
some
me
money.
every day.
You finally
Pookie,
pay
come
him
hang
some
out with
money.
me.
And no matter how well I perform on the night, there's going to be people with an opinion who said, you know, Chase isn't experienced enough, or Andrew didn't look that good, or he looked sloppy, or whatever. There's always going to be somebody with something to say. There's a lot of people who've been saying my name already. And I'm sure they're going to pop up trying to catch a payday, because I'm the biggest payday in sports entertainment today. There's no doubt about that.
To this fight, he's putting a weight clause on me and a rehydration clause, and there's a lot of things that go into this fight to make it happen, but I'm the type of guy where I'm a company man first, and I say, you know, whatever he wants, give it to him. I don't care about the pay, I don't care about the judges, the arena, I don't care about the weight. Like, just tell me how to get him in the ring and I'll be there December the 20th.
Is that
Any idiot can beat up his partners in the gym. That's not a champion. A champion beats up his opponents in the ring. So we're here in the gym to learn. It's very easy to, you know, I see lots of people who bully around the gym and then things change when they get under those lights. So I'm saving all my energy and all my venom for the night.
I've got to, before we get to further talk about the boxing, on the Misfits here boxing side, can I ask you to run the rule, make some executive decisions?
Got him to a big fight. If you had to be truthful, look, I like Chase, I don't think he'll win. I think Andrew's just got too much know-how, he's got too much will to say, if anything. But I rate Chase from like what is from. Remember his first fight, everyone was laughing at him.
Not a threat, it's a guarantee.
Bugattis and yachts don't
Oh, I know, but according to your Twitter followers,
Clearly you don't know because you don't have any.
Oh, you sure? I have a huge Hot Wheels set. I play with them all the time, buddy.
Andrew, talk to me about the fruit of choice here. Keeping yourself hydrated, getting the electrolytes in.
Tangerine, want one?
Sure.
I got you.
Jesus.
Are you enjoying the experience of being back in the ring, being back in that fighting mentality?
Yeah, I never really got out of shape. I've been training the whole time I've been retired, but you know, I always wondered how I'd do in a fight camp, and I'm surprised by myself, to be honest. I really do feel amazing. I really feel amazing. Even my old injuries, I thought I might come back.
Listen, I ain't got nobody's boss. Nobody orders the champ to do anything. I chin people for a living, all right?
So you're gonna threaten me or not?
I'm not. It's not a threat, Andrew. It's a promise.
Ooh, a promise. Well, can you promise me in a convincing way so we can make some money, please?
Well, my promise to you is when you get into the ring and your Bugattis and your yachts aren't in there fighting for you and it's your fist talking, that's the promise I'm gonna keep.
Oh, we can say all the names now, but truthfully, once this fight's out the way, I'm gonna be having long conversations with the management of Misfits and deciding which name is gonna turn the most heads.
Let me just give you a couple more. A big name, Logan Paul, hasn't been seen in the ring, the Misfits ring in a long time. What about Logan?
Yeah, Logan's easier than Jake. Logan's a lot easier than Jake. He's not technically very good. He's big, but everyone's big. Big doesn't mean anything if you don't get hit. It doesn't matter, right? So Logan would be a good, interesting one. It would certainly sell, that's for sure.
Last one, and he was named as by KS.
Years don't make the experience, the fights do. I've been out there 15 times now, and that's more than any other person that comes from my category. I think he's going to be in there with a really big, strong, fast heavyweight, and he's not going to know what's going to hit him.
What's the end game for you, man? What's the point you're trying to prove here? How far are you going to take this?
I'm going to take it as far as God willing, man. Stay high in hopes, high in prayers. We come from...
So I'm going to use my technical skill, and I do believe I hit harder than he does, and he's going to be very shocked when he gets caught.
A question asked to Jake Paul a few years back when he entered into this space was, what level does he think he's at? You've got all sorts of levels in boxing, amateur, pro, area, British level, English level, if you're looking at the British scene. Then you go to European, you go to world level, elite level. What level would you say you're at?
That's a good question. It would be unrealistic for me to say I'm elite. That'd be completely unrealistic.
That's what Jake Paul said.
The card of the McBroom give social gloves card. It's pretty cool to see your journey, man, and now you got a real opportunity to put a real solid name on your resume. Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I look at it as a great opportunity. It's a great opportunity for me to showcase my abilities, my team to showcase their abilities in coaching. This is a team effort at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, we just want to go handle business and get up out of here.
Following his journey, what do you think of Jake in his upcoming fight against Anthony Joshua, man? His biggest test. Everyone, they're very skeptical about what's going to happen December 19th between them. What are your thoughts, man? What do you think is going to happen?
I think, Jake Paul is a smart guy. He knows what he's doing. I think he's definitely the underdog in that, but Jake would never take a fight that he didn't think that he could win. So I back Jake Paul 100% just because, I know Jake is a friend of mine, and like I said, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. What do you think he sees in Anthony Joshua, man? This is a...
And then you give him a tangerine and he throws it away. What's
better
wrong with
looking than you, younger than you, stronger than you, faster than you, more charisma than you. You are essentially giving me the keys to your empire, and I can't wait. I can't wait to run the real world.
What's wrong with this new generation, And they're so rude. They talk over you. You try and be the nice guy, and they're just talking over you and being horrible. I have another tangerine. Would you eat it if I give you another?
I'm okay. I don't like tangerine.
Are you sure?
Thanks, buddy.
Champ, it was pretty good. Andrew, you talk about the disrespect coming from this side. We just sat back there and there was a conversation between you two, and it got real quick. And I saw a switch in your mentality. You called him disrespectful, and it felt like it was personal at that point to you. Talk to me about what this fight now means versus what it meant when you signed.
Well, it means the same. So I'm here to take it seriously. It's not influencer boxing, it's boxing. I've trained 100%. I'm ready to get in there. I'm very excited to get it done. If he wants to disrespect me up until the day he gets punched in the face, it's up to him. I don't care. It doesn't change anything.
Chase, you essentially said you were going to knock him out. It was going to be easy work, that he's smaller than a lot of the guys you've ever fought, and it might be the easiest fight you have.
I'm taller than Chase.
No shot. I'll take my socks off right now.
I'm taller than Chase.
No shot, buddy. You probably.
Why would I fight someone taller than me?
This fight takes place on the Misfits Boxing The Fight Before Christmas card, which lands on December 20th, 2025, inside the Dubai duty-free tennis stadium, where Andrew Tate challenges Chase DeMoor for the Misfits heavyweight title. One man brings the belt into the arena, while the other brings a much louder spotlight, and that split sets up a collision that starts long before the opening bell. Before the trash talk and the viral clips, it helps to look at who is actually stepping through the ropes. Andrew King Cobra Tate does not come from the influencer pool. He built his name as a professional kickboxer with over 70 wins and more than 20 knockouts, collecting 4 world titles across ISCA, and infusion by beating experienced strikers in real championship fights. That background means he has already stood under bright lights with real consequences, and he learned to stay calm while reading opponents and punishing mistakes rather than chasing wild brawls. His combat resume also includes a step into mixed martial arts, where he submitted Willis Eaton at Ohio Combat League 35 with an arm triangle choke in the second round at 257 on February 15th, 2025. Which shows he has felt real resistance in different formats and still found a way to finish. Boxing, however, is a fresh chapter. Because this Misfits main event is treated as Tate's official professional boxing debut, with no small venue warm-up bouts and no gradual ramp-up, just an immediate jump into a title fight that will go on his record. Across from him stands Chase DeMoor, a heavyweight, who first became known through reality television, but then built an actual ledger of fights inside the ring. His professional boxing record sits at 5 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. And every one of those 5 victories came by knockout, which tells you that when he does find the target, he tends to close the show rather than coast to the final bell. Inside the Misfits professional system, DeMoor holds 4 wins and 1 loss, and that run matters because it includes the current belt. He claimed the vacant Misfits heavyweight title by beating Kells via unanimous decision over 5 rounds on November 28th, 2024 in Lusail, Qatar. And he has already defended that belt twice, stopping Tank Tolman in round 3 at 115 on May 16th, 2025 in Derby, and finishing Natan Markan in round 2 at 052 on August 30th, 2025 in Manchester. Walking into Dubai, the official paperwork names DeMoor as the reigning champion, even if the betting markets paint a very different picture of who they believe will leave with the belt. When the sportsbooks posted their lines for this matchup, the numbers told a blunt story about expectations. Andrew Tate opened around minus 400, which meant a bettor had to risk $400 just to win 100 on him, while Chase DeMoor hovered near plus 275, giving him roughly a 26 to 27% implied chance of pulling off the upset in the eyes of those markets. The result was a strange situation where the active, defending heavyweight champion entered his own title fight as a clear underdog against a man who had never boxed professionally. That pricing came from Tate's striking history and from the way people see his experience, because more than a decade of high-level kickboxing, combined with that 4-time world champion status, convinced many that his timing, composure, and power would carry over, even with bigger gloves and a slightly different rule set. Oddsmakers watched his past knockouts against larger opponents, looked at the way he controls distance, and decided that even at 38 years old, he still posed the more reliable threat. The problem was that time has not slowed down for him. Reports framed this Misfits event as his first real fight in about 5 years, which meant questions about ring rust and how his body would respond to a heavyweight's power started to swirl around him before fight week even began. Meanwhile, DeMoor has been logging fresh rounds, fighting consistently, defending his title in 2024 and 2025, and proving that his conditioning and timing exist in the present moment rather than in highlight packages from years ago. From DeMoor's side, this fight offers the biggest jump he has ever seen, because beating a fighter with Tate's background and profile instantly changes how fans and promoters talk about him, shifting him from reality show heavyweight to the man who took out a famous former world champion in his own professional boxing debut. Fans are not just watching this to compare jabs or to count how many feints each man uses. They are tuning in to see whether the images these two have built for themselves can survive genuine resistance from another trained fighter once the cameras roll and the ring announcer steps out of the way. Andrew Tate has spent years building a public persona around being unshakable and smarter than everyone else in the room, and this fight in Dubai acts like a test because a convincing loss here would hit that image harder than any online argument could. Chase DeMoor, in contrast, carries a different kind of weight into this match. He has heard himself described as clumsy, as an athlete from television rather than a real boxer, and this title defense becomes his chance to cut through all that talk with a single performance. If he wins, the story shifts from mockery to respect, which meant every press conference and every face-off held more meaning than usual for him. Some of the build-up came through their own words. During one appearance, Tate pointed at the gap between training room bullies and real champions by saying that any idiot can beat up his partners in the gym, while a true champion beats up his opponents in the ring, and that line landed as a direct shot at fighters who look good only when the stakes are low. Later, he also explained that he takes this as serious boxing rather than influencer play fighting, saying he has trained 100% and is ready to get in there, which placed his reputation firmly on the outcome. DeMoor pushed back from his angle by talking about the conditions around the match, mentioning weight clauses and a rehydration clause, then framing himself as a company man who agreed to everything, telling people to give Tate whatever he wanted and just show him how to get the fight signed for December 20th. His stance came through in a simple goal that he repeated: handle business and get out of there with a win, which stripped away the theatrics and reduced his mission to the scoreboard. Around those quotes, the usual circus grew with talk about Bugattis, jokes about fruit, and tangerines being tossed across the table, and that created an odd mix where Tate thrived inside the chaos while DeMoor tried to stand his ground as the champion who wanted respect more than noise. To understand why this fight intrigues people, it helps to look at how their styles collide. Andrew Tate brings a tall, rangy frame and the habits of a seasoned kickboxer who learned to use sharp counters, straight punches, and timing rather than reckless flurries. Once the rules strip away kicks, knees, and elbows, his world simplifies into pure hand fighting, which gives him the chance to focus entirely on footwork, angles, and shot selection without worrying about a surprise low kick chopping him down. That history suggests he will not sprint from the first bell, but instead adopt a measured approach with a high guard, small steps just outside of range, and a plan built around drawing DeMoor forward before answering with straight rights and check hooks. Tate works best when opponents overcommit, which meant DeMoor's natural urge to press could turn into opportunities if the champion leaves gaps while marching in behind his size. DeMoor's game looks very different. As a big heavyweight, he has relied heavily on pressure and physical presence, especially in the Misfits ring, where he drove opponents to the ropes, leaned on them, and unleashed heavy combinations that did not need to be pretty to finish fights. His stoppage win over Tank Tolman in round 3 at 115, and his finish of Natan Marcon in round 2 at 052 both showed the same pattern. Once he cut off the ring and trapped his opponent, the flurries to head and body eventually forced the referee to step in. He thrives in messy exchanges, close distance, and moments when technique takes a back seat to grit, while Tate thrives when he can see the whole picture and dictate rhythm from mid-range. The result was a clash of ideas, one fighter chasing a clean, controlled contest, and the other trying to drag that contest into deep water, where size, youth, and raw power start to matter more than sharp single shots. Age and time away from high-stakes competition hang over this fight for one side far more than the other. Andrew Tate steps into Dubai at 38 years old after years away from major bouts, and his body has not absorbed genuine heavyweight punches under full pressure for a long time, which raises a serious question about how well those legendary instincts still hold up under fire. When he talks about his preparation, he insists that he never truly went out of shape and that he kept training throughout retirement, explaining that he feels amazing and that even his old injuries have not resurfaced, which builds a story of a veteran who stayed ready rather than letting himself fade. Chase DeMoor's career does not include a long list of world titles, yet what he brings to this particular night could prove just as important. Since November 2024, the period when he won the Misfits heavyweight belt against Celts, he has been an active champion, going the full 5 rounds when he needed to, and then stopping opponents like Tolman and Marcon when openings appeared, so his body knows exactly how fight night nerves feel when everything is on the line. Those experiences teach pacing, show how lungs react in championship rounds, and train the mind to stay steady when the first clean shot lands hard. From his viewpoint, this matchup stands as the biggest opening of his career. A victory over Tate not only preserves his belt, but also upgrades his entire identity inside crossover boxing, moving him from title holder in a niche promotion to the man who beat a former multi-time world kickboxing champion in that champion's first professional boxing appearance. That is why he keeps his words simple when he says he just wants to take care of business and leave with the win, because he understands how much that single result can reshape the rest of his path. When December 20th arrives and the referee calls both men to the center of the ring, the stakes stretch well beyond one belt changing hands. Chase DeMoor walks in as the reigning Misfits heavyweight champion, holding a 5-2-1 professional boxing record with 5 knockouts and a 4-1 run in Misfits professional bouts, yet he does so as a betting underdog at around plus 275, which means the wider world expects him to lose despite his recent success. If he wins, that upset immediately pushes his name into a different category, proving that the champion many dismissed as a reality show brawler can beat a decorated veteran striker in a straight boxing contest. For Andrew Tate, this event stands as his professional boxing debut on a major stage at a Misfits show big enough to draw global attention, not a small hidden bout that can be forgotten. He enters as roughly a -400 favorite, comes back to live competition after a long layoff, and faces a larger, active heavyweight who has been defending a title while Tate has been away. If he performs and wins, the storyline opens the door to more crossover fights against other big names often mentioned around Misfits cards, and his kickboxing legacy merges smoothly into a new chapter inside boxing. None of that matters if he loses, because a defeat here undercuts the image of an unbreakable veteran and turns this debut into a moment his critics can bring up forever. That combination is why this main event feels bigger than a typical influencer matchup. On one side stands a champion trying to prove that his belt and knockouts mean more than his TV background, and on the other stands a former 4-time world kickboxing champion testing whether his skills still translate under different rules after years away. When the bell finally rings in Dubai, there will be no more press conference jokes, no more tangerines on the table, and no more talk about odds. Just 2 heavyweights, up to 12 rounds, and one night to decide whose story survives.